Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4:30.
A man accused of killing his girlfriend was in court today. You're going to hear from someone who testified about the case.
A University of Louisville student has been charged after he threatened to shoot up a dorm on social media.
Several people are now behind bars following a drug roundup in southeastern Kentucky. WKYT News at 4:30 starts now.
Good afternoon. Sam, Dick, and Amber Philpott reporting. We're learning much more this afternoon about the case against a southern Kentucky man. He is accused of killing his girlfriend.
A preliminary hearing took place this afternoon for Johnny Hendricks in Pulaski County. He's accused of murdering his girlfriend, Monica Wells, last week. As WKYT's Phil Pendleton reports, a sheriff's deputy testified about the case. It's our top story at 4:30.
Police took the stand today and testified on the blows that Monica Wells received, who witnessed that assault, and also how Johnny Hendricks left the area and was then found later at his brother's home in Leslie County. Now, police said that Monica and Johnny had been arguing late into the night, and she went into her 8-year-old son's room. That's when Johnny came in. He then saw her hit her and then slam her head into the wall. Johnny later was seen leaving on an ATV. Monica was not seen again. Police said that she was found with numerous injuries all over her body, even a shotgun wound to the leg. After the hearing, relatives told us that the condition of her body made her almost unrecognizable at the funeral home.
Had been up to the funeral home and seen her. It had no recognition of Monica. None. None. Her son said, "That ain't my mommy."
The judge did find probable cause and did not agree to lower his bond. Coming up at 5:30, more about a possible motive in this case and how that resulted in the defendant asking for actually a lesser charge. For now, in Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
A Pulaski County grand jury will now consider if Hendricks will be indicted. That could come sometime in the next month.
Police say a University of Louisville student made an anonymous post to a social media site this morning threatening to open fire in a residence hall. That student, 18-year-old Charles Robb, is facing a terroristic threatening charge. Authorities were able to find Robb, and they say students were never in any danger. The post was made anonymously on a social media site. Police said that Robb is a student at U of L and lives on campus. School officials say they received a tip about the post this morning.
Apparently a young lady who saw this on this site and picked up the phone and called our police department, and that's one thing that we stress with our students, and it's a good message for everybody that if you see something like this, don't just look at it and blow it off. Pick up the phone, call the police, and identify that there has been some sort of threat on a social media site. We really appreciate that young lady picking up the telephone.
The IT department on campus also stepped in to try and find the IP address. They were trying to pinpoint the computer that they say he used to post the threat. Instead, police just went inside the residence hall, asked around, and got who they were looking for.
Lexington police say one of their officers was forced to shoot a dog overnight after being attacked. The officer was responding to a disorder at home on Whitney Avenue. Police say the German Shepherd charged at the officer several times and bit the officer, who then shot and killed the dog. The officer was not seriously injured. Police say no charges against the owner were filed. Firefighters were able to put out a Lexington fire quickly this morning. It happened at a house on Loudon Avenue a little after 8 this morning. Firefighters say it appears the fire started in the laundry area of the basement. They say they put the fire out before it could spread beyond the basement. They say the main floor filled with smoke, but they believe that the owner should be able to get back into their house sometime today. No one was hurt. The chilly air is still hanging around here in the Bluegrass, and it could be even colder overnight.
And possible frost could be rolling in sometime overnight. Let's check in with our chief meteorologist, Chris Bailey, about that and more. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Sam, Amber. Yeah, a little on the chilly side today. We may turn downright cold overnight with those lows hitting the frosty 30s. Little look outside showing some sun for areas well to the west of Lexington. You get toward Frankfort, down into Danville and west, we're seeing sun. Interstate 75 points east, not so much. 49 right now in Jackson. Parts of eastern Kentucky staying in the upper 40s for those highs. Only 50 in Richmond, 53 showing up into Covington. Frost advisory for central, northern, and western parts of the area. This is the area that will likely clean the skies up a little bit overnight and to get some frost to form, and those colder temperatures. You need clear skies at night. Clouds act as a little bit of a blanket. Now, those clouds are hanging tough right along and east of Interstate 75. I mean, you go westbound on 64, take a little trip down the Bluegrass Parkway, you'll run into sunshine. You go down the Mountain Parkway or eastbound on 64, not so fast, my friends. A lot of clouds that will continue out there. Weather headlines over the next several days, the overnight frost threat that we're talking about. I am tracking milder changes just in time for the weekend, and a couple of cold fronts showing up on that 7-day forecast. We'll tell you when those arrive when I come back in just a few minutes.
Now, 3 police agencies in southeastern Kentucky are looking for 24 people this morning wanted on drug charges.
As Mitchell Grogg reports, most of these people were in the Pineville area, including 2 not far from City Hall.
This man is one of about 1/2 people arrested by mid-morning in Wednesday's roundup.
Mainly in the city of Pineville. They've been selling prescription medication, hydrocodone, oxycodone, Suboxone.
Police say some information in the investigations that lead to these arrests comes from the community.
It's going to take more than just law enforcement. A lot of these cases that we work come from anonymous tips that we've received through Post and other law enforcement agencies throughout the Post 10 area.
Is there anything you'd like to say, sir? Police also say these arrests help to reduce other crime. We're
Constantly seeing a reoccurring of people that have been through the system before, but still yet, if they're out and they're trafficking in narcotics or any type of illegal drugs, we're going to keep making that case if we have to arrest them 1, 2, 5 times, how many times it is.
In roundups like this, police say will continue. In Bell County, Mitchell Grogg, WKYT.
Kentucky State Police Post 10, Pineville Police, and the Cumberland River Drug Task Force teamed up for today's roundup.
One of the largest beer makers in the country is suing Kentucky to force the approval of a distributor's license. Anheuser-Busch is asking a Franklin County court to make the Kentucky Alcoholic Beverage Control Administration approve the company's distributor license application in Owensboro. Kentucky Public Protection Cabinet spokesman Dick Brown says Anheuser-Busch's application for state licensure is being considered.
A popular toy store is pulling its collection of dolls based on some characters from AMC's Breaking Bad. Why parents complained, coming up.